Good morning, Western Washington, and happy Thursday. I'm Matthew Fabb with Western Washington Weather, and today we're going to take a look at the forecast for the system that is coming in on Friday and for the next few days after that. So we're starting here with the satellite image of the Pacific Northwest. You can see here's Washington and Oregon and Northern California, and you can see our system here is offshore and moving toward Vancouver Island there. It will get cloudy throughout the day today as that system moves closer, and we'll take a look at the forecast for that here in a moment. Taking a look at the overall pattern, you can see we have a brief ridge over the area today that will move out pretty quick, but it will keep us mostly dry today. And you can see that system moves into northern Vancouver Island there and will bring that troughing over western Washington and will bring a nice round of rainfall. As that moves off to the east by Friday night, you can see a nice big ridge builds, and that will keep us dry all weekend. So it should be a pretty nice weekend here across western Washington, and you can see that ridging continues all the way through Monday and then into Tuesday as well before we do start to get a little bit more troughing offshore there, but that is a little bit more uncertain at this point. Taking a look at the rainfall forecast here, you can see that system there this evening deepening and moving into northern Vancouver Island there. And then you can see as we get to about 5 a.m. tomorrow, that rain starts to move into the north coast of Washington and parts of the northwest interior. By 11 a.m., it's raining across the entire area, and it does start to push off to the east pretty quickly by about 5 p.m. there. You can see it's already moving off to the east, and then by 11 p.m. we have a convergence zone going on, and most of the area is dry after that. And then you can see a nice dry weekend there all the way through Saturday and Sunday as those systems stay north of Vancouver Island there. But then you can see as we go into Monday, we could have some showers across the northern half of the area and then some showers across the entire area by about Tuesday there. So now let's take a look at the potential radar image here from the high resolution rapid refresh model. This is going through this evening here, and you can see that this shows that rain starting to move into parts of the north coast and maybe the San Juans there by about 2 a.m. And then you can see that rain starts to pick up 3 to 4 a.m. before moving into the entire region there by 7 a.m. There you can see this is showing a band of moderate to heavy rainfall across the metro area from about 7 a.m. through to about 10 a.m. and that pushes off into the mountains. And that will be what brings the majority of the rainfall with this system. And then you can see showers continuing through about 1 p.m. there. And then as those showers move off into the mountains, a convergence zone is likely to form around the King-Snohomish County line as usual, and that could be moderate to heavy rain there all the way into the Cascades before that pushes off into the mountains by the late evening there. So taking a look at totals here, you can see that signature of that convergence zone. We'll talk about that in a second. The high resolution rapid refresh model shows the most rain on the coast with a half to 3/4 of an inch, some areas even reaching 1 inch of rain. And then you can see for the lowlands, it shows a rain shadow as usual northeast of the Olympics there with only about a 1/4 inch in that area. And then most of the metro area and the I-5 corridor at large gets about 0.4 to 0.5 inches there with a little bit more in some spots. And then you can see the signature of that convergence zone from Everett into the mountains there, which shows a lot more rainfall, maybe up to over 1 inch there in the mountains with the convergence zone. And then in the Cascades there, about 3/4 of an inch to 1 inch, and the same in the Olympics. Now, if we take a look here at the European model, you can see it shows a little bit less rainfall total. You can see it still shows that convergence zone signature across the Cascades of Snohomish County there. And then you can see across the entire area, it shows a little bit less rain than the high resolution rapid refresh model did, with only about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 of an inch, more like 1/4 of an inch for the Seattle and Tacoma areas. And then you can see about 1/2 inch to 1 inch on the coast there, most on the northern coast. So this, regardless of what forecast we take a look at here, it is going to be a nice brief round of rainfall and the first rainfall of October. And then you can see if we take a look at temperatures here, it will be on the nicer side today with highs in the mid-60s from Seattle northward and the upper 60s from Seattle south, maybe some low 70s out there. And pretty nice on the coast as well, highs in the mid to upper 60s there, maybe a few low 70s near Long Beach. But then take a look at the huge temperature crash as we go into tomorrow. Highs will struggle to reach 60 degrees across the entirety of western Washington, most likely to get to 60 from Tacoma southward there. And on the coast, it looks like you will get to the low 60s there, but most areas from Seattle northward will likely stay in the upper 50s there. As we take a look at Saturday, you can see we start to rebound with highs back to the mid 60s across the entire area there. And then on Sunday, that ridge really starts to be noticeable with highs back into the upper 60s to low 70s from Seattle South and mid 60s from Seattle North. And then take a look at Monday. Pretty nice day there. Highs likely in the upper 60s from Seattle to Arlington there, and then in the mid 60s from Arlington northward. And then you can see highs in the low 70s from Seattle all the way south through Olympia and Chehalis, and then in the mid 60s on the coast. And then we do start to cool a little bit by the time we get to Tuesday. Highs in the low to mid 60s Seattle North and upper 60s from Seattle southward. And just wanted to point this out. This happened this morning. The major X 9.05 flare from this new sunspot region we're looking at here on the sun. This is the largest solar flare yet of this solar cycle. So I know space weather geeks are pretty excited about this. And just thought I'd mention it because it could potentially bring some aurora potential for Western Washington and really the Pacific Northwest at large. So stay tuned. I will talk about this more if there is aurora potential. And of course, we will look at cloud forecasts if that is possible. So just wanted to point this out because these kind of solar flares are pretty cool to look at, even just in these pictures. So as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and share these videos. It's the best way to help Western Washington weather grow. Stay tuned as we've got this system coming up tomorrow and that potential aurora from that massive solar flare. So I will talk to you all tomorrow.